When it all seemed lost, Manchester United down 2-0 to Southampton, they found a way to find a victory against them. And honestly, I have a lot to say in this video, but I want to say first off, I'm so happy for this win and those 3 points. What's up everybody, it's the Aidan Sports Show and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a Manchester United versus Southampton 3-2 match reaction. The hero of the day, Henderson CAVANI, found his way onto the score sheet to give Manchester United the victory, and hopefully to see more of him in these games, man. I'm so excited to see what we can see from Henderson CAVANI in the future. Now, by all means, before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below, how happy are you with this victory? First things first, and I have to say this, Manchester United were very underwhelming today. So underwhelming that I thought we were going to lose this game comfortably 3 or 4-0, especially in the first half. However, you cannot argue that Manchester United gave everything they had to the cause to try and secure a victory in this game. Now, there were some players that were absolutely dreadful. Southampton were far and away the better team in the first half and were probably the better team for some of that second half as well. So I think this victory for us causes Southampton to be hard done by, and unfortunately that's just how football is sometimes. You cannot take away this victory from us. Consistency wise, once again we were shockingly inconsistent. First half to second half, way inconsistent. Game to game we're inconsistent, but this victory, I said in the preview, all I wanted to see was Manchester United come into this game and win. By hook or by crook, win this game so we can climb up the ladder and we can compete with some of the rivals that have lost their points today. And we've got Tottenham and Chelsea to wait for as well. But Manchester United have given themselves a fighting chance in this top 4 race, have given themselves a fighting chance for the league, which is still up for grabs. But ultimately, we are now sitting in 7th position at the moment with a game in hand against every single team above us. You cannot write the script for that. That is a massive victory. That's an important victory. But there were some players today that honestly should be dropped for their performances. Unacceptable performances for some people. For example, how did Southampton win that midfield battle in the first half and some of that second half? We played a diamond. We had multiple midfielders in that team. Yet only one midfielder I can say with 100% certainty was fantastic today. No one else lived up to that expectation in that midfield. Not one midfielder. Southampton won that midfield. How are we still not marking corners correctly? At the end of the day, these are things that you need to perfect in the Premier League if you're going to win multiple games, win Premier League titles. Things like this. You should always be winning the midfield battle, especially if you have more midfielders in your team and more quality midfielders in your team than them. Their attacking force didn't have Danny Ings today. They did not have Danny Ings today, yet they seemed the better attacking threat for majority of that game. These are the negatives that I'm bringing from the game, the inconsistencies that I'm bringing from the game. Our strike force with Mason Greenwood and Rashford were on was so irrelevant that I truly thought that both of them should have got taken off. And if David De Gea was not getting subbed off, I reckon Rashford would have got sent off as well. Because at the end of the day, they were dreadful. They were dreadful. Bruno Fernandes had a terrible game as well. But these are all the negatives in a fantastic positive, in which is 3 points in a very tough game to go. With fantastic free kick taker and Ward-Prowse and a fantastic corner taker. Ended up getting those 2 goals that we should have never conceded. Should have never given away that free kick. Should have never, ever had the marking the way that it was. But those goals went in. And we had to fight back from a very unpredictable, pretty much impossible position. And we won that game in the second half alone because we did not score in the first half. So a big credit goes to that team despite the terrible effort. Because again, you could slaughter this team and you can praise this team at the same time in this game. A lot of it goes to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well for making the decisions quick and early to put CAVANI on at half-time to give us that chance to win, and that substitution alone saved us today. CAVANI was in contribution to all of the 3 goals that were scored today. You cannot write the story. That is a perfect substitution from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so a huge amount of praise goes to him as well. And ultimately, the grit and grind and the attacking press of this team in the second half is ultimately what led. The press is what led. The leadership in the front is what led in that second half. And I wish we see that for 90 minutes, but Manchester United are that team. We do not play a full 90 minutes. We haven't done that since Alex Ferguson was part of this team, was the manager of this team. Since then, we have not played a full 90 minutes of football consistently. It's just the way that it is. We are not that team anymore. We shouldn't be accepting mediocrity, and we shouldn't be accepting inconsistency. But that's for another time. Let's talk about the player ratings for today, and let's talk about how important this victory is. In goal, David De Gea. Now, some of these player ratings are going to be harsh because at the end of the day, 2-3 should not have been the scoreline for this game. We should have won this game. We need to come in this with a fantastic performance. So even in a win, I'm going to be harsh in these ratings. And David De Gea is going to be the first one I talk about. I'm giving David De Gea a 5 out of 10. Now, I don't think if any of those goals are his fault. I think the first goal, his positioning from the corner, I felt like he was a bit confused and it led to the first goal. Second goal, absolutely world-class free kick. If you're blaming David De Gea for that second goal, you go and try and save that. Put it that way. There is no goalkeeper, in my opinion, in the world that would have saved that shot. It's just a brilliant free kick from a brilliant free kick taker. And you just have to accept your fate sometimes. And that was a goal where you look at it and you say, this is what it was expected. When he went for that free kick, he's beaten David De Gea from a free kick multiple times. You guys forget this, but he has. Ward-Prowse has beaten David De Gea for free kicks multiple times. I remember those games. I remember these games specifically for that. And this was no exception. It's a beautiful free kick, and it ended up injuring our goalkeeper. That's how good that free kick was. So I can't blame David De Gea for that one. But the first goal, I feel like he was a little bit shaky. He made a good save after that, but the injuries took him off. I'm only giving him a 5 because I feel like the positioning of the first goal, I think he could have done better, as many of our players should have done better. So that's why I'm giving him a 5. You can't blame anything for that goal that went in for the second. I don't think you can. I don't think you can blame David De Gea. I know people are saying that he jumped from the inside of the goals or that his hand was in the inside of the goals. The fact of the matter is, I don't care what positioning you are, unless you're physically standing in that spot, you're not saving that shot. It's as simple as that. No goalkeeper, in my opinion, saves that shot. Moving on to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I thought Aaron Wan-Bissaka had a very decent game defensively. Attacking wise, again, he struggled a lot, only delivered one cross of notice, which could have been a handball, unfortunately was not given. I'm not sure if that was a handball or not, but people were talking about that. At the end of the day, you have to accept your fate. Wasn't a handball. That was the only cross I saw from Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Defensively, he made some key challenges. Not many things were targeted towards him. A lot of our Southampton's attacking was targeted towards Alex Telles and the centre-backs, especially with Theo Walcott trying to run down past the centre-backs, trying to get Alex Telles to commit from the left-back to make spaces for the other players. Aaron Wan-Bissaka had very little to do in the defensive end, but when he did end up doing the things defensively, it was spot on. Key challenges, key interceptions to get either a corner or a clearance away. He was always in the box when the ball was crossed to get the ball away. I think he was very vital in the defensive end, and he was probably the best defender today. But overall, was he the best player? Moving on to Victor Lindelof. I actually thought, by the way, I'm giving Wan-Bissaka a 6 if I didn't say that already. I thought Victor Lindelof had a fantastic game today. Absolutely, I thought he had a fantastic game. Now, when Shane Long came on for Southampton, obviously Victor Lindelof got bullied in the air. And of course, that's a big issue. It will always be an issue with every single striker that has some sort of aerial capabilities. Victor Lindelof is going to struggle against them. It's as simple as that. There are some things you just can't change in football, and the way that your player is, the way that Victor Lindelof's shape is, his size, his body, and his aerial abilities, some of that you just simply can't change. And Victor Lindelof, it was expected. But besides that, the reading of the ball today from Victor Lindelof was absolutely sensational. He read the ball very, very well. He's one of the best centre-backs in the world when it comes to reading the play, reading where players are going to go, reading the danger in the defensive end. He is fantastic at that. I thought Victor Lindelof had a great game, was not at fault for any of the goals, did his thing defensively, read the play, made some tackles. Harry Maguire next to him did fairly good as well. I thought Victor Lindelof was a 7 out of 10 performer today. Was he key for a man of the match performance? No. There were two players, in my opinion, that stood out as our best players tonight. But Victor Lindelof definitely deserves the shout-out for his performance as centre-back, in my opinion. Harry Maguire. Now, Harry Maguire also made some key challenges. That tackle on Theo Walcott, when it was basically a 1v1, if he didn't make it, was key. I think Harry Maguire had a good game today, but I don't think he was better than Victor Lindelof, so I'm putting him down as a 6 out of 10 as well. Aerial duels, again, he needs to be the one that's headering that ball away for the first goal. Zonal marking, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it just doesn't work for Manchester United. We have someone that's so dominant in the air, yet we never put him in the positions to go and win the ball in the air. Even in the forward line, when we're crossing it to him, he's never in a good position to score in front of goal. He's never in that position to header it into a goal. That's why we've only seen maybe 3 headers from goals in 2 years from Harry Maguire. We need to do better with Harry Maguire in those positions, and Harry Maguire also needs to take command in his own box, especially when he is the one that is most likely to win the header over every single other player in the Premier League. Harry Maguire has to demand that aerial duel, has to take on his best player in an aerial duel and beat them. And unfortunately, he didn't do that. I don't think he was terrible, so I'm giving him a 6. A lot of people give him a 5 for the first goal. Fair enough, you do you. That's up to you. That's not the way that I see it. I'm giving him a 6. Alex Telles. I thought Alex Telles had a very good game today as well. Again, a player like Theo Walcott, who is a very experienced Premier League player that has the pace on his side to go and attack a player like Alex Telles, and actually targeted him for a lot of that game. Alex Telles did superbly well to deal with the threat of Theo Walcott. Theo Walcott was very quiet today, didn't have that much opportunities to go and create something. Their other striker was actually the key for them in majority of that game. But Alex Telles, in my opinion, had a tremendous game in the way that he played. Attacking-wise and defensively, he was solid as well. I'm going to give Alex Telles a 7 out of 10. I think he was our best defender besides Victor Lindelof. I thought he was superb in his fullback role. Came back very well. Defensively was sound. Attacking wise, he created a threat. Very, very intelligent passer. High IQ. Good skill. We need skillful players in this team. It's as simple as that. With the attacking liabilities sometimes that we have with our starting lineup and the players that we expect to be good, at the end of the day, this is the type of player that we should definitely be saying that we need more of these types of players. Donny van de Beek, Bruno Fernandes, Alex Telles, these are the players where when they're on the ball, they can create something and they're skillful enough to keep it. The fact of the matter is we need more players like that. And I think Alex Telles is really making his name for himself in the Manchester United team, in the left-back position. I've really enjoyed his performances the last 2 games. Moving into the CDMs, and this is where I'm going to get a big problem with some of our players. The midfield. We lost that midfield battle today. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, the last 20 minutes, we dominated them. Their midfield went quiet and they were extremely tired. But most of that game, we lost the midfield battle. And that is unacceptable for a Manchester United side that is playing a diamond to have that many midfielders to still lose that battle. Let's talk about NemanjaMatic first. I'm going to give NemanjaMatic... look, he didn't really do much wrong, but I don't think he was the best NemanjaMatic you'd see today. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 because at the end of the day, when you have 2 holding CDMs, you need to make sure that you don't make silly mistakes. You need to make sure you're commanding that midfield. That midfield was nowhere near commands from Fred or from NemanjaMatic. And unfortunately, these are the things that you have to take advantage of when you have a diamond. You need to be that commanding midfield. You need to have the possession. You need to allow the forwards to go and create their own opportunities. NemanjaMatic was not one of those players that did that for the majority of the game. So I'm giving him a 5. And Fred next to him. I'm going to be extremely harsh on Fred. Very, very harsh on Fred, and here is why. Fred, overall, had an okay game. Had a Fred type of game. Tenacity, midfield tackling presence, ran around the pitch all over. He never stopped running. When everybody else was tired, Fred was the one that was still energetic, running into the midfield, pushing onto the attack, was even in a position to score. Unfortunately, was offside. I'm giving a Fred 4 out of 10. And the reason why I'm giving Fred a 4 out of 10, because his free kick was one of the stupidest free kicks I've seen in a long time. Why? I don't understand the free kick that he gave. Why would he do that? And that led to a goal. And we all knew it was going to go in. Let's be real. We all knew that shot was going in. I mean, he's just a brilliant free kick taker. We all knew that shot was going to go in. Fred basically gave away a penalty, man. That's just how I felt. I thought it was stupid. And even a few times before that, Fred turned the ball over. I thought Fred in the first part of the game was dreadful. But again, he picked it up in the second half. But that mistake was deadly mistake. And he could have easily cost us the game today. So that's why I'm giving him a 4. Bruno Fernandes scored a beautiful goal. That's all I can say. I guess his assist, or his so-called assist, it was a deflection, part of the Cavani goal. Again, we all know Bruno Fernandes is the key difference maker. Bruno Fernandes, in my opinion, had his worst game in the Manchester United shirt today. The amount of silly turnovers, the amount of stupid flicks that literally led to nothing, the amount of times he gave no effort on the defensive end. Bruno Fernandes had his worst game in a Manchester United jersey. He scored a goal. And that goal is very important. And for that, I'm very thankful. Bruno Fernandes made the difference today like he's expected to do. He added his tally from the goals. And he did well in that area. But if you're telling me that Bruno Fernandes had a good game just because he scored a goal, that is not what defines a good game. He was in the right place at the right time. It's quality, his first touch. The goal shot was quality. But everywhere else on the pitch today, he was by far the worst player on the pitch. I'm giving him a 3. He was not good today. The goal was great, so maybe people will bump that up to a 5 or even a 6. But the fact of the matter is, I cannot ignore the game that he had today everywhere else on the pitch. Some of these performances, you need to be harsh. You need to be harsh. Bruno Fernandes has been in great form over the past few games, and I've been giving him 6s and 7s and 8s. I've not been giving him 9s and 10s. So when he has a bad game like this, I have to treat it the same. And I think it was definitely one of his worst games I've ever seen from him. But I'm happy he scored the goal. Again, bad performances and a good contribution. Sometimes you take that. I'm going to take that on the chin with Bruno Fernandes. He had a bad game, but he contributed in the ways that he was supposed to. So I'm going to take that on the chin and I'm going to move on. And don't worry, I'll get to the other attackers because none of them are safe either. And I think some of them are going to get lower scores than Bruno Fernandes. Because at the end of the day, it's just how it is. Let's go to Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek was superb today. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Rarely turned the ball over. Was a very, very big presence in the midfield. He was telling players where to go, what to do, and how to do it. He was the one that kept the ball when the likes of Bruno Fernandes turned it over. When the likes of Fred turned it over. Donny van de Beek in very tight areas, in very, very tough situations. When times where he was being double teamed, found his way out of trouble. Very efficient with the ball and managed to even get some opportunities to run into the box today. I want to see Donny van de Beek play more. It is time to say that he should be starting for this team. We all had our question marks about Donny van de Beek and why he wasn't playing. We all had our doubts that maybe if we're playing a diamond, Donny van de Beek should be starting on for the bench because he'll get his opportunities. No more of questioning. No more of wondering. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United, you have your answer now. You know that Donny van de Beek is more than capable and was the best midfielder today. You know Donny van de Beek played superbly last game against Istanbul and in the first game against Istanbul. He scored our very first Premier League goal this season. No more questions, no more discussions. Put him in the team and make him start. If he doesn't start next game, I'm going to be furious. If he doesn't consistently start for Manchester United now, I'm going to be furious. Played way better than NemanjaMatic did. Played way better than Dan James. Played way better than Bruno Fernandes today. Played way better than a bunch of the players that we don't see anymore from Manchester United. He is a quality player. He even showed a little bit of his range with the long balls. No more talking about whether Donny van de Beek should start or not. The answer is he should start. It's as simple as that. No one can argue it anymore. Very, very simple. Put him in the team and we will have a chance to win. When Paul Pogba comes back, good luck to him. He's going to have a hard time getting into that team if Donny van de Beek was playing the way that he plays today every single game. Consistency is key. Paul Pogba might be a better player, but Donny van de Beek is more consistent. You have to go with the consistent player. We wait and see if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer agrees with what every single fan is probably saying out there today. Let's go into the attackers. First off, I'm going to I'm going to Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood Mason Greenwood was shockingly bad today. Shockingly bad. Non-existent, to be fair. The first shot, you expect Mason Greenwood to put that in all day long. I blame that to his confidence. I think his confidence has dropped for the lack of game time that he's gotten and everything that's been targeted towards him by the media off the pitch. I don't know what situation Mason Greenwood is in mentally, but that shot, I'm putting it down to a mental thing, because at the end of the day, that is the shot that Mason Greenwood should be banging in every single day, all day long. The second shot that he did take, he should have passed. And if he didn't pass, mate, you need to be world class and finish that if you're not going to pass it from there. And Bruno should have also scored that shot as well that was deflected from Mason Greenwood. But again, poor decision making. And besides that, I saw no effort from Mason Greenwood on the defensive end. I saw no effort from Mason Greenwood pressing the line. I saw no... Look, the best thing I could say is watch Cavani in the second half. And just exclude the goals. Exclude the goals. Watch Cavani in the second half pressing and watch Mason Greenwood in the first half pressing. And there's a world of difference. Now, Mason Greenwood hasn't had that much game time. He's still a young player. He's clearly affected by the things that have been happening to him off the pitch. And he has had some niggles and injuries on the pitch as well. So the fact of the matter is, it's not been a great start to Mason Greenwood's season this year. Hopefully down the line, with more rest, with more confidence, he can build it up, because he's a quality player, and in my opinion, he has the potential to be better than every single player that we saw on that pitch today in the attacking force, including Edinson Cavani. He has that potential. But potential doesn't lead you anywhere if you're going to play the guy out of confidence for the rest of his career. It's time to give Mason Greenwood some leniency. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should have never started him in the first place. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that he needed to start a game. No, he didn't. He could have easily came off the bench today and made a contribution. Treat this man carefully. Treat this young lad carefully. He is not a star player yet. Don't treat him as such. Treat him as a prospect. Treat him as someone that's up and coming. Mason Greenwood doesn't need to start every single game like he did last season. We have players that can allow Mason Greenwood to grow at his own pace. Don't rush him. Don't force him. Allow him to be what he is. And let's just see how that goes. I don't want to see Mason Greenwood start next game. Put him on the bench and make him come on from there. Or if he's not ready for the game against PSG, don't play him. It's as simple as that. We don't need to be wasting talent. We don't. And I feel like that's what we're doing at the moment. And Mason Greenwood is not helping himself in some ways either. So that's all I have to say on Mason Greenwood. I'm not going to go into all of the situations that he's been in. Leave it at that. I think we need to take our time with him. Do not rush him. Do not start him every game thinking that he is a star player when he just simply is not right now. I think I'm going to give Mason Greenwood, I'm not sure if I gave him a score already. I think I'm going to give him a 3 out of 10 as well. Actually, no. I'm going to give him a 3. Marcus Rashford's also getting a 3. And the reason why is Marcus Rashford today pissed me off so much. I simply could not believe it. The decision making on this guy makes you want to cry sometimes. Now, Cavani could have had a hat-trick today if Rashford was intelligent enough to play the ball. When we were losing, in my head I was saying, I'm sick and tired of these players not making the right plays. I'm sick and tired of these players not being smart enough on the pitch. Now, I'm no rocket scientist. I'm no genius on the pitch. Hell, a lot of those players are much smarter than me. Of course they are. They're paid $200K a week to do what they do. But Marcus Rashford, it was a simple pass. It's a simple pass to make. But again, he's a striker playing a winger. He should not... We need wingers in the off-season. We need wingers in the transfer window. We need a left winger that can cross a ball. We need a right winger that can cross a ball. We need a little bit less selfishness in this team. Because Marcus Rashford did the most selfishest thing I've ever seen. That's an easy pass. It's an easy pass to make. Cavani would have been a tap-in goal. And we could have won this game a lot earlier, in my opinion. So, I'm giving him a 3. The decision-making was poor. He did end up... I think he nearly got an assist today. But yeah. I think he did get an assist. I think he was the one that passed it to Cavani. So, for the last goal. So, he's still getting a 3. I thought he was that bad. I really thought he was that bad today. Yeah. Him and Greenwood did not do... If Mason Greenwood and Rashford stayed on the pitch together, no way we would have scored a goal. I'm saying it. No way we would have scored a goal with those two on the pitch today together. I'm very, very happy Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saw that and made that change. Let's go to the bench, because the bench was clearly a talking point today. Dean Henderson got a Premier League debut for Manchester United. 6 out of 10, had nothing to do. A few catches, had a shot that nearly went in. Not really his fault at all. That's about it for Dean Henderson. Glad to see that he got a Premier League start. Hopefully David De Gea's injury again is a minor one and he doesn't miss a lot of time, if any time, because injuries will affect every single team. We cannot allow the injuries to affect us. It is an unfortunate thing that some of these teams, if not most of these teams, are facing injuries, including us. Luke Shaw's out, Martial was out, we have Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay out, and now David De Gea is out. Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof played with injuries, Rashford played with an injury. So many of our players are fighting through the pain, and we need that. Unfortunately, we need that. We don't have this depth like Manchester City, where if one player is out, another player with a beautiful quality, just as much quality comes in. We don't have that type of luxury. So we need these players to fight. We need these players to come back. And I hope David De Gea is one of those players. Dean Henderson's more than a capable enough goalkeeper to take his spot, but that does not mean that I want to see our players get injured for the sake of another goalkeeper, or anybody for that matter. Moving on to the second, we'll talk about the third substitution. Brandon Williams came in. I actually thought Brandon Williams didn't have that great of a game when he came on. I'm still giving him a 6, but I'm just telling you how I feel. As soon as Alex Telles came on for Brandon Williams, I thought we were in trouble. He got beaten off way too often. He got beaten way too often for the amount of time he was given. And he made little to no contribution on the attacking end. I think Brandon Williams needs to either play at right back as a backup, because that cross, again, we need crossing from Brandon Williams. And at right back, I think he delivers more crosses. He only played one game at right back, but he made a cross, and that's the first cross I've seen him do for a long time. So I'd like to see him play at right back as a backup. If not, you simply put him on loan. He should not be... I know we can't do it at the moment because of Luke Shaw, but simply at left back, I don't think he's the answer. And I think we all saw that today. Cavani is up next. Cavani, in my opinion, is I'm giving Brandon Williams a 6. Cavani is a 9 out of 10. I was going to give him a 10. I might give him... should I give him a 10? Should I give him a 10? No. We need to be realistic here. I'm giving him a 9. Maybe people give him a 10. That's up to you. Man of the match by far. An assist to the first goal. Scoring the second goal. Scoring the third goal. Now, a lot of people said that we need a player like Harry Kane. We need a player like Erling Haaland, Lewandowski, Aguero. A player that is naturally gifted in front of goal. The right instincts. Able to make something out of nothing. Was able to read the game, read the deflections. Cavani did that today. And for a lot of times, people were targeting Martial and saying that Martial shouldn't be the one that is in the box because he can't read the play, or he can't make the pass, or he can't read the interception. I'm telling you what, from what I've seen, I want to see Cavani and Martial play together, because I think Martial is a very intelligent player. Something that I don't think Rashford has in abundance compared to Martial. Something that I don't think that Dan James has, or something that I don't think most of our wingers have. Mata has it, but again, Mata is just not up to the pace of this league. I want to see Martial and Cavani play together, because I think they're two of the most smartest attackers that we have in the front line. I'm telling you now, if Martial was in that position instead of Rashford to pass it to Cavani, he would have done it. That's all I'm saying. He would have made that pass. I want to see Martial and Cavani play together. And I'm telling you now, we absolutely missed Martial today. I'm so upset that he's ill. Hopefully it's nothing serious. That's all I can say. Hopefully it's nothing serious, because I have to see him play with Cavani. We need Martial. It's as simple as that. We dearly missed Anthony Martial today. But Cavani led the way. Again, these are opportunities where you think to yourself, Cavani may have had an assist and 2 goals, but Cavani was not actually a standout performer. He was at the right place at the right time, and as an attacker, he was able to read the play, and he was able to read the game, and he was able to be intelligent enough to make the right decision on the shot. Always hit it on target with your head. That's the first thing that you should be learning as a striker, and he did that with both of those goals. The assist, look, the cross for Edison Cavani, Bruno's movement helped out a lot, but that cross was fantastic as well. You have to remember that. And the fact of the matter is, he's the man of the match. Edinson Cavani is the man of the match. And moving forward, when Cavani, because he is up there in age, when Cavani is not a Manchester United player anymore, if he does decide to retire in 2 years' time, I want to see a player like Erling Haaland on this team with Martial. I want to see a player like a Lewandowski, a player that can hold it up, a player that's a goal-scoring machine, that's clinical, right positioning. I don't care if it's a tap-in, a header. We need intelligent attackers. We need intelligent attackers. And Cavani, I'm very happy that he's here. I don't like him wearing the number 7 shirt. Still makes me sick to see him in the number 7 shirt. But the fact of the matter is, he's a very, very smart, very hard-working player. And we saw that in those goals today. Not many people react the way Cavani reacted in front of goal today. But he did so very, very nicely. Again, he proves that we are missing that type of player. Maybe the likes of Paul Scholes and I don't know, maybe, I don't know who else says it, but I'm definitely sure Paul Scholes says it. They need a player like Harry Kane up front. Wayne Rooney said we need to go buy Harry Kane. We need a player that's like that up front. Maybe they're right. Maybe they are right today. And today I'm seeing it. Maybe they are right, but I want to see them play with Martial, not take his spot. Because Martial is definitely capable as a striker. He's just not, he's not the same striker as a Harry Kane. And on the left wing, my goodness, Martial would be dangerous. And even as a 2 attacking force when they play a diamond, Martial and whoever plays as that type of player that Cavani the style that Cavani plays, I think that could be very, very deadly. Very intelligent players end up making ways to for systems to work and for opportunities to create. I think Martial and Cavani today, we probably would have beaten them convincingly. Just my opinion alone. If Cavani came on at halftime and Martial came on at halftime for Rashford and Greenwood, we probably would have won that game convincingly. That's the bench. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, look, the only thing I could ever say about his decision making today was I don't think Mason Greenwood should have started. I think everywhere else it was pretty spot on. Victor Lindelof should have played. Fred should have played. Van de Beek started. You can't complain. You cannot complain about his team lineup. You can complain about the players' effort in the first half. You can complain about the tactics, the way that we dropped off after the first goal. You can complain about a lot of things from this performance. This was not perfect, but the victory is all that matters. We sit now, as this video is getting longer and longer, we sit now in 7th. I think our next Premier League game is against West Ham. Our next Champions League game is against PSG. So stay tuned for that. I'm giving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, you know, because at the end of the day, that substitution was world class, a perfect substitution to make, and I think he deserves the praise for that. But that is going to end this video here. Manchester United, a crucial win. I was truly going to say that I've had enough with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but again, somehow, some way, whenever I think that I might be Ole out after this game, they end up turning it around. So we wait and see how we go against PSG, how we go against West Ham. Let's keep climbing up the Premier League. Let's win tomorrow, the next game against PSG, and let's advance into the Champions League. Give us a little bit of a break in the Champions League, because honestly, all we need is 1 point. Let's just get the point. Let's top the group. Let's allow these players to maybe have a little bit of a break against RB Leipzig. If we win against PSG, we can have a break against RB Leipzig because we'll top the group, I'm pretty sure. So I might be asking for a lot, but Manchester United, you expect a lot out of this team. And again, 7th spot is unacceptable, but we're still fighting. We still have a chance to make something happen off this season. Let's just keep pushing. Again, people forget the last season was actually 10 times worse than this season in terms of our start. So we do have some sort of, I guess, progression in the way that we are on the ladder and also our points, but it's still unacceptable. It's still not acceptable as a Manchester United fan, player, coach, owner, everything. So let's just keep the progression going and let's see how the season ends up from here. Great victory here. We've won now, I believe, 4 games in a row. Everton, we beat West Brom, we beat Istanbul, and now we beat Southampton. PSG would be fantastic. West Ham is a must as well. We wait and see how we progress. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Video went a little bit longer than expected, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. Have a wonderful and safe day. I will see you in the next Manchester United match prediction video against PSG. Take care and peace.